So we are here at the ground label Karakterre wine Biodynamic Wine Festival in Zagreb, and I would like to welcome Dusan Jelic, who is a website owner, a blogger, or how would you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, my name is Dusan Jelic, and I'm a founder of a marketing agency called Wines of Balkans. And I have two passions in life. One is wine, and second one is internet. So I'm trying to combine these two. The Wines of Balkans is an agency that is covering the countries of ex-Yugoslavia, Hungary, Bulgaria, Romania, Turkey, and Greece. The idea is to follow all important wine festivals, events, also to visit different wine regions, to promote wine culture, and to help other people in and outside of the region to learn about the great Balkan wines. What I have to say is that there is a wine revolution happening at the moment in many of the countries that I've just mentioned, and a lot of young people are drinking wine, and all those processes should be recorded, supported, and I try to do so by traveling a lot, by posting a lot of photos, and by communicating with a huge number of people that are interested in wine and food and wine tourism.
So your most recent experience is about Croatia, probably. Could you tell us something about your last week or last day?
Of course, as a part of the press trip that was organized by the VINOcom festival that took place in Zagreb this Friday and Saturday, 22 wine journalists from 11 countries left Zagreb early morning Monday. We reached Konavle, just outside of Dubrovnik, and we also spent some time on Pelješac Peninsula, Korčula Island, Komarna region, and also Šibenik region. So we tasted around 120 wines. We combined them with the local food. We spoke with the winemakers. We visited vineyards. On Korčula Island, we saw a Grk vineyard that is planted on a sand. One of the reasons why Phylloxera couldn't destroy Grk was that Phylloxera cannot function in a sandy soil. It was really an exciting experience for me to see the vineyard on the sand. Also, we spoke with the tourist officials, and we learned a lot about latest developments on the Dalmatian wine scene.
Okay, so this was not your first travel or trip to the region, but probably you have some new experience, new discoveries. Could you just tell about them?
I always say that my favorite variety in the Balkans is Plavac Mali. That's indigenous Croatian red variety that is cross of Zinfandel, Primitivo, or Crvena Kaštelanski, as it was recently established by DNA fingerprints, DNA analysis. And Dobričić, interesting robust red variety that was found first time on the Šolta Island. So apart from some really great Plavac Mali wines that I've tasted, I actually enjoyed another important indigenous variety of Dalmatia, that is Pošip. Pošip is one of very few full-bodied wine made from Pošip is one of the very few full-bodied white wines, and there are different renditions of Pošip. I tasted around 30 of different Pošips from Korčula, from coastline, from Komarna region, and I have to say that 3 of them were particularly exciting for me. So I will use this opportunity and mention them, although there are much more than 3 excellent producers of that wine. One is Stina from the Brač Island, their Pošip called Mali Majstor. Second one is Terra Madre from Komarna region, Poljo Oprema company. And the best one, the best Pošip I've tasted during the recent months is Luka Krajančić Intrada. It's a brilliant rendition of Pošip, and I think this variety should be more marketed as well as a Plavac Mali, because a lot of people from outside actually do not have a chance to taste those exceptional wine. And I think, as opposed to Istria, who is really a wine region with a very, very developed wine tourism, Dalmatia is having a very well-developed tourism, but there is a lot of room for improvement when it comes to wine tourism. But I can see that people are working together. I saw that in Smokvica area on Korčula Island or in Komarna. So producers are actually finally realizing that the best way is to branding the region branding the whole of Dalmatia. So the other winemakers are not their competitions. Actually, they work for the same goal, to bring, to sell and brand their wines.
So you believe that to sell wine you have to tell the story as well. So this will be a good reason to come to Croatia and buy the wines.
Yes, that's right. If you have a bad wine and a good story, you may sell that wine once. But I mean, it's really important that your wine is good. But this is not sufficient for the successful wine business or successful wine tourism. It has to be a good story. And I heard this story in all countries of the Balkans. And that is, you have to first offer your indigenous, autochthonous varieties, because that's your identity. When the foreigner is coming to visit your country, if you give them what you have, what you inherited from your parents, what is being growing in this area for centuries, then you're actually doing a lot to promote wine tourism. I was traveling a lot in Croatia, and just recently the Get Report organization gave me a sign of recognition, saying that I helped promoting wine tourism in Croatia. I'm really happy that I achieved so, but I'm also active in Serbia and other countries, and I think that wine tourism is an excellent chance for any of the wine-making Balkan countries to do many things, because if you can have a good story, if you bring tourists in, then you will sell not only wine or food, they will also be traveling, using hotels, restaurants, buying souvenirs. So the whole wine growing areas will benefit from the further development of wine tourism. So that's why we need to invest more time and more money in development of the wine tourism.
With a short technical break and continue with Dusan's last 3 days, if you can share some information or impressions from 2 festivals that you have visited these 3 days?
On Friday and Saturday, November 29 and 30th, we had a VINOcom festival in Esplanade Hotel in Zagreb. That was really one of the best regional festivals, with a lot of wineries from Croatia and from the region, a lot of producers of food, of cheese, prosciutto, olive oil, and so on, and a lot of happy people. The festival is open for 2 days, and different producers will placed in the 5 different rooms. Everything was really functioning beautifully. It was a really place to be this weekend, and I was very happy because I saw so many young people, and it shows that wine culture is really big thing in Croatia. Of course, in Dalmatia or in other wine growing areas, you expect people to enjoy wine, but when you see in the big cities hundreds of young people enjoying, talking, discussing about wine, it makes you happy, and you see that wine is really becoming much more important thing in their lives. Also, I have to mention a couple of really good master classes took place, including my friend Zoltan, who was talking about Hungarian Karakterre. Then also another masterclass about Frankovka, and different presentation of wineries, of wine called Kontra. That was a blend of Babić and Plavac Mali, produced by Gracin and Kirigia. And also vertical presentation of a young winery Rizman from Komarna that I mentioned, a region of Dalmatia, and so on. So really it was exciting and difficult, but many people stayed for a few hours, they tasted so many wines, and they left hotel and festival happy. Now the Grand Karakterre second edition took place on Saturday in Ljubljana and Sunday in Zagreb. And it's a really very important event because it takes care about a niche of wine market, about biodynamic, organic, I would say authentic wines. And those are the wines that wine lovers will be very happy to discover, to talk about. And what is really significant, and I have to credit Marko Kovac and Primoz Steyer, who helped organize this event, is that actually they brought winemakers themselves. So what else could be more exciting than when a visitor has an opportunity to taste wine and talk directly with the person who made that wine? I think this is a key how to promote wines, actually to bring winemakers, to get them talking with the consumers. So this event has much greater significance than only for Croatia, for the region, and I think it will grow to become one of the most significant organic and similar wine festivals in this part of the world.
So you mentioned young people, young wine lovers on the VINOcom Wine Festival. And what we see here, if we take a look around, is not only people, it's not only young wine lovers, but also young winemakers. So who do these organic and biodynamic wines tend to be young people. Can you?
I think you are right. I was not to say that you had only young visitors in Esplanade, also the older people, but it seems to me that most of the producers on this festival are actually younger generation, because younger generation is open to experimenting, to discovering new things, and of course there are a few older ones, but I would say it's like in other part of the life. The new generation is always bringing something new, something fresh, something different, and it's very exciting when you see somebody who's using organic production, creating a great wine based on grapes that are not overly exposed to the chemicals at all, but sometimes it can be extreme. Some of the producers are extreme, but you see, I love this because it gives opportunity to various people to satisfy their love for wine, and I think it's important that wine scene is becoming very, very diverse. And I have to mention that you had a top organic winemaker from France, from Italy, from Slovenia, from Croatia, from Hungary, and this is the way to go.
So at the beginning of our conversation, you mentioned that there is a revolution going on in the Balkans. Is this biodynamic thing part of this revolution, or what did you exactly mean by that revolution?
Well, thanks God, it's not a real revolution, because the Balkan is well known, unfortunately, for many clashes and wars and so on. A revolution in a sense that a lot of young, educated winemaker, wine growers are actually entering the scene. So you had sophisticated people traveling around, communicating with their clients and consumers via social media, and wine is actually ultimately a social thing. You cannot easily drink wine on your own. So thanks to the modern media, thanks to the internet and so on, and the fact that young professionals are producing wine and directly communicating, having a feedback, and then implementing this, I think that it will be hard to imagine in the future any meaningful social occasion without wine. Now, when it comes to this festival on organic wines, I mean, for me, it is important that wine scene is diverse, and I'm supporting the further development, and I think the problem is only if somebody is using word biodynamic organic as a marketing tool. But ultimately, most of those people are totally genuine. They are not fake. They actually, you can feel the passion that they have. So I'm so happy to see them actually producing the wine, sharing with us. And this type of festivals are excellent opportunity for hundreds of people to taste and to feel and to see what's going on when it comes to the organic, and I would call them authentic wine. That's the phrase I heard from Jamie Good, my friend, who would like to use the word authentic, or we can say also honest wine. This is not to say that other wines are not authentic or honest. This is to say that those people just feel an extra urge to pay attention to a tiniest detail in the process of making wine.
Thank you very much, Dusan Jelic, and hope to see you in the next event or traveling on the Balkans or in Croatia, wherever.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for your interest, and send my regards to the Hungarian wine lovers.
Sure will do.